The name is Bond. James Bond. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 James Bond kills.
Shocking.
For this list, we're looking at the greatest Bond kills of the franchise. These kills must be memorable, creative, funny, sickening, or all of the above.
Mr. Smith & Wesson. And you've had your 6.
We're also only looking at kills that Bond himself is responsible for. So Jill from Goldfinger or Tracy from On Her Majesty's Secret Service will not be on the list, as Bond was not directly responsible for their deaths. Also, because we're talking about deaths, there will obviously be some major spoilers. So, spoiler alert. Number 10. Nuclear rod through the chest. The world is not enough.
Welcome to my nuclear family.
This 19th Bond adventure sees him in Istanbul as he uncovers a scheme to raise the world's petroleum prices via a nuclear meltdown. We're sure villain Renard didn't have this in mind when he stored nuclear rods aboard a submarine. After a fight, the nuclear rod impales Renard through the chest, finally killing the unkillable man.
She's waiting for you!
It's a graphic death, but in typical Bond fashion is not shown in a graphic way. We have to say, being impaled through your chest by a nuclear rod is one awesome way to go out. Number 9. Archenemy down the smokestack for your eyes only.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bond. Don't concern yourself with the pilot, one of my less useful people.
This movie, about Bond trying to find a secret missile command system, has perhaps one of the most famous, or infamous depending on who you ask, villain deaths in the Bond canon. After several years, Bond finally dispatches who we are led to believe is his arch-nemesis, Blofeld, by picking up his wheelchair with a helicopter landing stick, then promptly dropping him down a smokestack, killing him once and for all. Regardless of its slight anticlimactic nature, Blofeld's death is very memorable in its creativity and execution. No pun intended.
Mr. Bond!
Unfortunately, I misjudged you. You are just a stupid policeman whose luck is run out.
Number 8. Dr. No goes nuclear. Dr. No.
No hurry. They won't have started their countdown check yet.
We're going way back over 50 years to the very first Bond film for this entry.
There's so much to discuss, so little time.
In this movie, Bond finds Dr. No trying to sabotage a manned space launch with his nuclear radio beam.
Why become criminal? I'm sure the West would welcome a scientist of your caliber.
The Americans are fools. I offered my services, they refused. So did the East. Now they can both pay for their mistake.
World domination, same old dream.
It sounds kind of goofy, but his death is oh so memorable. After Bond pushes the reactor to its limit, a fistfight ensues with No left to boil to death in the cooling vat. Another graphic death, this one is memorable not only because it was the very first villain death, but also because of its sheer brutality. Number 7. Sanchez Is Blown Up. License to Kill.
Where's my wife?
Don't worry. We gave her a nice honeymoon.
This Bond entry, arguably the darkest of the entire series, finds Bond not on a mission, but on a personal vendetta to avenge the maiming of Felix Leiter and the death of his friend and fellow agent's wife.
See you in hell!
No. Today's the first day of the rest of your life.
He does this at the end of the film by setting villain Franz Sanchez on fire and letting him walk into a tanker, which promptly explodes.
You could have had everything. Don't you want to know why?
This is perhaps one of the darkest and most cold-blooded of all the Bond kills, but we love it for those very reasons. It's a far cry from the Moore era, that's for sure. Number 6, Knife to the Back, Skyfall.
You see what comes of all this running around, Mr. Bond? All this jumping and fighting, it's exhausting.
In this 21st century entry of the Bond franchise, Bond has to protect his mentor M as a former agent tries to take revenge on her. Unfortunately, Bond is not fast enough, and M is fatally wounded. But vengeance is taken when Bond pitches a knife into Raul Silva's back. This death is memorable due to the sheer drama of the scene, as it comes on the heels of M stabbing and features Silva walking towards Bond after being stabbed. The Bond franchise has certainly matured since Craig took over, hasn't it?
Last rat standing.
Number 5, Elektra's death, The World Is Not Enough.
Everything's under control up here. Are you ready?
What can we say? There were some really memorable kills in this movie. In this scene, Bond and M are both held hostage, and after freeing M, Bond returns to take care of business. After Elektra disobeys Bond, he shoots her point blank in the chest, killing her without a blink or a hint of remorse.
I won't ask again. Call him off.
Call him off!
This kill again sees Bond at his coldest, as he kills an unarmed woman at point-blank range. Yeah, she deserved it, but it's memorable due to the sheer shock effect of the kill.
Dive, Bond!
Number 4, Oddjob's Electrocution, Goldfinger. While Goldfinger's death out of the airplane was memorable in and of itself, it's Oddjob's demise that proves even more so to us. In this movie, Bond tries to protect Fort Knox against the thief Goldfinger, and in the finale, fights his henchman, Oddjob. After a fistfight, the Korean manservant's steel hat gets stuck in the vault's bars. As he reaches for it, Bond touches a loose electrical wire to the steel bars, and this causes Oddjob to cook like a steak. His fall forward is just icing on the cake. Number 3, The Cradle Will Fall on 006, GoldenEye.
Back from the dead. No longer just an anonymous star on the memorial wall at MI6.
After a 6-year hiatus, Bond returned with this film, where he attempts to stop an arms syndicate from using the titular satellite to destroy London. While Xenia Onatop's death earlier in the film deserves a mention, it's the killing of Agent 006 that takes it. Alec Trevelyan's death comes at the end of the movie, and it is a brutal one. After a fistfight, Bond coldly drops Trevelyan hundreds of feet down onto the floor of the satellite.
For England, James? No. For me.
After somehow surviving this, Trevelyan watches as the entire exploding cradle falls towards him, during which he screams out in fear as it crushes him to death. Damn. Number 2, Ballooning Up, Live and Let Die.
Sure, and all that can anger, but I'm sure there must be a simpler way of drowning someone.
Drown, Mr. Bond? I doubt you get the chance to drown.
In this first Roger Moore-era film, Bond tries to stop drug lord Mr. Big from distributing large amounts of heroin without cost. In the finale, 007 finally kills Big, who is actually immoral Caribbean Prime Minister Dr. Kananga, by putting a shark gun pellet into his mouth, causing the villain to literally blow up like a balloon, shoot out of the water, and explode upon impact with the ceiling. It's every bit as ridiculous as it sounds, but we can't help but be entertained by the sheer ridiculousness of the scene. Welcome to the infamous Moore era.
Well, he always did have an inflated opinion of himself.
Before we take a look at our top Bond kill, here are a few honorable mentions.
Take a giant step for mankind.
Number 1. Dryden and Dryden's Contact, Casino Royale. The first in the Bond franchise with Daniel Craig as Bond sees our hero going up against millionaire Le Chiffre in a high-stakes poker game.
You changed your shirt, Mr. Bond. I hope our little game isn't causing you to perspire.
A little. But I won't consider myself to be in trouble until I start weeping blood.
At the film's beginning, we see Bond in an office telling the story of how he killed his first target, Dryden's underground contact Fisher, to Dryden himself.
Your file shows no kills, and it takes 2.
This he did by drowning him in a sink and finally shooting him. Immediately after the story ends, Bond coldly shoots the disloyal MI6 section chief himself point blank. While not as creative as previous deaths, these ones have significant thematic importance, as they are what make Bond a 00 agent, and therefore they've earned the top spot.
Yes. Considerably.
Do you agree with our list?
Then if you wish, I'll give you another chance.
What James Bond kill do you think is the most memorable? For more creative top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
I hate to admit it, but I haven't.
Well, I have.
She's right.